Doctor, you talked about some of the news stories I took. ASU urges federal government to fix existing universities and not create new ones. Of course, after dissecting that particular one, then I moved to the federal government pledges focus on skills development to drive economic growth. So, are you against the fact that the federal government wants to, develop skills, to drive economic growth? I understand the fact that ASU is one side that really want them to look into our educational sector, but notwithstanding, while that is still being in talks and while that is still in review, while we're agitating and trying to pacify the federal government to do what is right for our education system. But of course, if the federal government wants to develop a large-scale human capital, developing, wealth through people, doing what they can do best, with their hands and, their skills, and all of that. I don't think it should be a situation where we need to still attack the federal government as regards to this particular one.
No, it's not about attacking the federal government on this particular one, but rather telling of them are aware of what to do. They have traveled wide. They know the way things are being done over there. But when they come back here, they turn the whole thing upside down. Number one, for you to develop the skill of the people, where is the best environment? Where is the best environment? You got to fund your universities and not to be creating universities that you cannot fund. You got to fund technical colleges that you have somehow subjugated to the background. Our polytechnics, you have to fund them and ensure that the people there are well educated as regards their handworks. What I'm saying is this: it is not sufficient for federal government to be establishing universities up and down that they cannot fund, and then on the other side, you are making their lecturers to go on strike, while you are now deceiving the people through Photoshop human capital development. No, we want to see this thing on ground. Let us see the impact on ground. Go in those days when I was growing up, it's all these menial jobs, handwork and all that are driving the economy. You will see plumbers, electricians, carpenters, bricklayers, and all that, even driving their vans to push their equipment. Where are they today? So, like I said, I'm not trying to tongue lash them, but telling them what they are supposed to do, rather than deceiving us with Photoshops.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Kayode. I am so excited that you're actually joining the show, live through video means and not also picture, because some people would have actually thought that's also a Photoshop, that you're not the one talking. So it's fine that you are the one.
You think it's AI?
You might still be AI, But of course, Doctor, let's come back to this situation. We've gotten to a point in Nigeria where it looks like bandits now have the rights, to request for anything. And it looks like the federal government, the governments are not even, or they're looking like they can't really do so much about it. The other day, in one of the shows, Morning Boss, which is our Saturday belt morning programs, I was here when we read that a particular group of bandits requested that the federal government should build them a school. They wanted mosques. They wanted a few, recreation centers in the bush. And they mentioned that they will still keep coming out to negotiate and have peace conversation. And afterwards, they go back into the bush. This is Nigeria. And now they've actually, graduated to a point where they are now telling communities in Zamfara to pay tax just like Federal
It's not
Inland,
that all
you know, just like FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, just like LIRS. So now we now have bandits in Tsafe communities who are actually telling the communities to pay tax as their right. So how did we get here?
Yes.
What are the primary motivations behind all of this situation?
It is their right with government. What they are doing is their right with government. Do you know why? I don't know the level of Yoruba you understand.
I understand Yoruba very well.
There was a song there which says, Àṣírí ẹ̀kọ́ kò ní tú lójú ewé. Shebi, you know that song?
Of course.
Àṣírí ẹ̀kọ́ kò lè tú lójú ewé.
Yeah.
That is to say, you know that pap, that akamu.
Yeah.
That akamu. It was the leaf that made it to be what it is. Are you with me? The leaf that made that echo inside the leaf to make that echo what it is. Because the maker put the ogi inside the ewe
when it was quite
and
soft.
Then boil it to
form.
Echo.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what is happening. We have had severally. How these people were brought in. So that is to say, the government molded them to be what they are. And for them not to talk, not to spill the beans, the government must accede to their demands. If not, I've been saying this thing over the years before these expositions that we are seeing now. You should go back to most of my recorded tapes on various television stations, radio stations. I have been saying it and then quoting two prominent people, Amanpo of CNN, as well as the only grandfather Nigeria has that has been giving us money from the grave, Sani Abacha said, any government that cannot quench any form of insurgence within its polity should be seen as an accomplice. And what are we seeing today? Listen, we have our Naija ComSat that has satellites in the orbit to be able to be surveilling the territorial environment of Nigeria 24/7. And are they saying those 3 satellites we are having in the orbit are not capturing all these bandits where they are operating? If it's catching them and they cannot give our military personnel information to go and onslaught them where they are, then who is now fooling who as regards these people? I will give you another example. The Senate, the National Assembly, has been saying the new GMD of NNPC should bring back the unaccounted 200+ trillion naira back to the Federation accounts. Has he been able to do that? Who is giving him that backing for him not to do that? The person giving him that backing, what do they want to do with that money? So also we should see these bandits along the line. Without some people in this country giving them backing, well, they don't have that temerity to be doing that. I'm sorry using that one there. They have no temerity to be doing that. I mean, a non-governmental official, bandit for that matter, labeled, known bandits for that matter, terrorists for that matter, wielding guns and saying you are collecting tax, where you have governors. I mean, in a state where you have a governor, where you have senators, where you have House of Rep members, where you have House of Assembly members, where you even have local government chairmen, and you are doing that, and there's nobody to accost you, and you are now saying, okay, let us leave the issue of Trump. Let's continue our discussion.
Okay, Doctor, I love the fact that you dissected the situation in a more broader picture. But let's go to Comrade Eragbi Anslem. Hello, Comrade, are you there? Hello, Comrade, are you there? Comrade, please unmute your mic.
Yeah, it's on me. Yeah.
Comrade Eragbi Anslem, please unmute your mic.
Unmute your mic. You are on mute. Unmute it.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with Comrade Eragbi. I think the network is still, affected. But of course, let me come back to you, Dr. Kayode. Doctor, are you there? Dr. Kayode?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, so how does this taxation fit into the broader context of banditry and insecurity in Nigeria? Of course, we know it's a new development, and that's in terms of taxation, but I'd like you to give me your take.
It has been happening since. It's not a new development.
No.
It has been in the news for years.
Doctor, the bandits have been taking ransom, but taxation is what we're talking about.
Yes, I say yes. It has been in the news for years. Yes, I can tell you that one for free. Yes.
So every community has been paying tax to bandits?
It has been in the news.
Okay, Dr. Kayode, please, I'd like you to hold your thoughts. Let's take this call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Ina calling you from Lagos.
Ina, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, my brother. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Please go ahead.
Now, talking about the bandit collecting tax, I'm telling you, to me, it's laughable. And it's terribly laughable. This can only be done in the governance. Good example. From him. The same, almost the same thing. When the OT came, it was the men of the underworld almost took the state by storm. He bought vehicles, equipped the military, the paramilitary, everybody. I am from Abia State. Almost every bus stop is a checkpoint. That's pegged terrorists, pegged men of the underworld. Then please, the governor of this state should please look at my face and tell me what effort he has done before calling my president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What effort has he done personally to nip this in the bud before pointing accusing fingers to my president Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Since I've cited this governor that met the same situation and solved it. So the governor should look me in the eyes and tell me what he has done to nip this in the bud before pointing accusing fingers to my president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much.
But before you go, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm with you very much.
You'd agree with me that this is the same governor who actually granted a media parley and of course a particular interview some time ago, and he said we know where these bandits are. If only we can be given the permission and given the military, and we're given the permission for us to take them out.
Okay.
We need the backing of the federal government. This same governor, as soon as you drop this call and when we're done with this show, try and go through the internet to look for the speech of Zamfara
No,
State
it's
governor.
true. I've
As
read
regards
it.
to
It's
this
true.
particular conversation, he mentioned
Yes,
it.
it's true.
He mentioned it. Do you know what it means, Inaya, for a governor to say they know where these people are? So the question, who are the powers that be that cannot allow the military to do their real
What they're
job
supposed to do.
in clearing this off at once? That's one. Secondly, why are you not giving these states the full backing for them to thoroughly protect themselves?
Yeah.
So we have to get to this conversation. I understand the fact that you can actually say, oh, it's not everything that they should talk about the presidency. But in a situation where a governor has actually raised concern over and over, I know that you just compared Anambra and Zamfara, but I'll tell you this for free, my brother. These are two different states.
Sure.
Soludo brought, what do they call them again?
Agune Chamber.
Agune Chamber. You know, he created a JTF, Joint Task Force. He also had the backing of Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian Army over there. And guess what? To an extent, Soludo was able to collect the major town in Anambra. But are you telling me that we don't still have security issues in Anambra? Of course we do. But the level of insecurity between these two states. No, doctor, I'll come to you now. Doctor, I'll come to you now. The level of the level of insecurity in these two states are totally different. Zamfara,
Yes.
if you read me, Zamfara is worse. Zamfara is facing what Borno has faced over time.
Yes.
So if we want to really judge the governor, let us also try and judge him fairly to understand that he has raised the lamb over time. And it is looking like nothing has been done. Point of mine, it's clear to say that what we are both saying is still on the same line. But all I just want to say to know is that you shouldn't judge the governor because he's actually made so many efforts to get the federal might and the federal assistance. So thank you very much.
That governor, please mark my word, is crying more than the bereaved. Okay. Do you know that Al Jazeera correspondent had a face-to-face meeting with the bandits in Zamfara State? The question is, if an Al Jazeera correspondent could have a face-to-face interview with the terrorists, bandits, then if the governor tells me that he does not know where these people are, to equip at least, to buy vehicles at least, increase mobility. My God,
okay, Inaya, hold on.
I'm with you.
So thank you very much for joining the show. I would like to go back to my guest, but I just want to leave you with this. Someone from Al Jazeera, from wherever you can call it, national, media house, can come in to the country and they give them a safe passage to interview the bandits. That's normal. That's the job of a journalist. That's journalism. But guess what? If you are an executive of a state, if you don't get the approval of a federal might, you are limited to some things. This is the reason why so many governors are still calling for state policing. But I would like you to just keep enjoying the show as we go back to our guests. Thank you very much for joining the program. Okay, Inaya, thank you. All right, Dr. Kayode. Dr. Kayode, are you there? Dr. Kayode, please unmute your mic.
I said, let me also educate him.
Please go ahead.
Educate him. The governors are being called chief security officer, while the president is being called commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's the one in charge. He's the one to give directive to either chief of naval staff or chief of army staff or whatever, or chief of defense staff. Unlike the governor. That is one. Two, Enugu State is different. What is happening in Enugu State is different from that of Zamfara Bonu. Because in Enugu State,
No, he mentioned Anambra, not Enugu to be precise.
sorry, in Anambra State,
Yeah.
what we have there is different from what we have in Zamfara. The truth is, all of those bandits and terrorists in Zamfara, Borno State, and all that, they are going there with the aim of our mineral resources. I mean, I'm about to fertility food what year now. I mean, you know the meaning.
Doctor, I'd like you to just stay put on. I'd like you to stay on the English context.
The wind has blown the lid of the can. So we have seen the worms inside the can. We have seen it. We can't be deceived again. So many things have been said. We have seen live the video, which we have read. You can imagine when Trump said he was coming. Chinese government said he should not come. That this and that. We knew what happened between the two of them thereafter now. I mean, you want me to shake the table a little bit this afternoon, this Friday afternoon, to shake the table a little bit. We are all watchers. We knew those that are sponsoring those people. It has been exposed. They have shown their videos. They have shown where they were even sharing items with them. We saw the video. Nobody has come out to disclaim it. So why are we deceiving ourselves in this country?
All right, so Dr. Kayode, because we have two topics to discuss today, so I would like us to just, draw the curtain on this one. But before you go, before we leave this particular one and to move to that of the PDP, I'd like to ask you. So we understand the situation now. We know what's going on in Zamfara, and this is not a news anymore. It's nothing new. Just like you said they've been taking taxation, but of course, maybe now it is being amplified as regards to the amount and all of that. That's why it is even getting more serious now. Okay, so what are the potential long-term consequences for the community if this situation continues?
The situation that have been there before, that have been in the news before now, has to do with them paying a particular amount of money before they can allow to go to the farm. Is that not taxation? If you want to go to farm, give us this amount of money, then you will go to farm. That is taxation. It has been there like years.
Perhaps now they are putting the exact price in millions.
Yes, they also hoist their flags at various communities and say now they are the one in charge. They are the one operating here. Nobody has gone there. So what have we done to that? But now that they have now seen so many things cropping up against them by the people, informations coming up against them, they now think that, okay, before we are being routed out, let us take more money so that even when we are being routed out, they will have enough to still be feeding themselves before they get to somewhere else.
Okay.
They are just trying to up their game.
All right.
Not
Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode.